tonight to help you to pitch and close more deals, so thank you and congratulations. I'd like to ask for your patience. We have about 50 people booked to be here today. We have about 25 in the room. Do you think 5 minutes is fair and reasonable? Do I have your permission? Hoorah, thank you so much, man. We're looking forward to Steve starting in 5 minutes. He's going to drop some amazing stuff on you. It's going to blow your mind, it's going to change your perspectives on sales, and it's going to help you grow the number of deals that you bank every month. So who in the room wants to make some money? Say, I! You guys sound like Blue Bulls fans. Thanks so much. patient enough. Thank you very much for your permission. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're excited. I hope you brought your open minds. Huh? It's like a parachute. It's only going to work if it's open. So I'm going to challenge you for the next hour, hour and a half, that you open your mind, open your heart, and later on you open your wallets. Who's got a wallet? Say aye. Look, no, honey. We're in the wrong place. Let's go, man. All right. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce a good friend of mine, public speaker, trainer, coach, and published author, who's going to share with you the yin part of the sales process. It's all those unspoken things, such as establishing trust, establishing rapport, establishing facial pattern recognitions. Who's heard of this before? Facial pattern recognitions. Do you know where they use them? Every international airport you travel in. There are 5,000 cameras on you, you just don't know it. They're trying to figure out, are you a Bulls fan? Well, is he from Cape Town? Because they're looking for, do you have your front teeth? Does that make you a cis or an guys, if you don't know what that is, I'll give you an education later. So Steve's going to share with you powerful technologies that will help you get in front of more people, adding more value. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hearts and your hands together and welcome speaker, trainer, author, coach, and now yours, Mr. Steven van Basten.
Right, can I have a quick show of hands? Who of you are in business for yourself? Right, and who of you are salespeople? Alright, more importantly, who could do with some more money? Right, yeah, awesome. So here are the actual most important questions of the day. Who of you are married? Alright, single, and married acting single. Right, if any of the ladies are in that category, I'd like your phone number afterwards, and we can go for a cup of coffee. There's some of my ghosts from the past here, Percy and Purvis, awesome to see you, and some ghosts from the present. So always nice to see some faces that I've met before. Right, may I have permission just to do a better job than Vinesh at introducing myself? Because you know what, he tries his best, but he's really not all that great. And later on, he's going to tell you about all the hard side of sales and the closes. And don't even listen to him, all right? Just focus on me the next half an hour. So it's the most important time of your life. And then when he's on, just tweet stuff and check Facebook, because he really doesn't have all of that much to say. So I wake up every morning and I wonder about the meaning of life. I wonder what this is all about, why we are on planet Earth. I wonder how I can eke out a better living for myself and my family. I wonder how I can fulfill my wife's needs so well that she doesn't subcontract any of them out to anyone else, right? And I wonder how I can bring my daughter up so well that one day, Percy, she's 22 now, can you believe it? And one day when she eventually leaves home, she'll be a beautiful balance of awesome, young, loving, womanly, nurturing, but as well as streetwise in the strange planet that we've landed on this lifetime. I've spent time with some of the best minds on earth. Those that have died, I've read up on them, and when there's a master in town, I spend time with him or her. I made two very bad financial decisions in my life. The first one was I chose the wrong parents. Okay? I was born poor, and quite frankly, it sucks, right? And I married for love. That was my second major financial disaster. Right. Other than that, I've done pretty well, and I have forced myself. So I was born poor. I was born poor, man. You know. And I remember going to school with my pants halfway up my shins, and my pants too tight, giving me a little bit of a higher voice than I should have had, right? Because I was too scared to ask my father for money. There was such a palaver in our household around money that I believed it was scarce, but the blessing of that is I promised that my daughter or my children would not go through that, and she hasn't. Okay, now that's created a little spoiled brat problem, okay, on the other side, but it's a different problem to the one I had. So the blessing of my past was I was born into poverty, and I promised that I would build my way out of that and fight my way out of it. 53 years later, I live an inspired life. I do what I love. I don't work all that much. My wife works like crazy. She earns a great salary. I work every now and again, and I do extremely well. And I've eked out a living for myself that I feel incredibly blessed and grateful for. And one of the keys to that, my first job ever, after being a waiter, I was a waiter at the Colton Hotel. Right? You know what they did for me? Taught me about sales, man. Where's Vinesh? Vinesh taught me about sales. There we are. You stay there. Sales, being a waiter, and I learned very soon that the more service you give, the more money you earn. That the better you serve people, the greater chance you have of getting that bigger tip. So I learned that immediately. My second job, commission-only salesman, selling fax machines. All right. Now, let me get this in perspective for you. When I was selling fax machines, the biggest objection, right, was, will the person that I want to fax have a fax? That's how long ago we go back, right? There were 12,000 rand like 30 years ago. It was a huge amount of money. And what I did was I read books. It's one of the greatest blessings in my life is that I read books on sales. Lots and lots and lots of books. Who has read The World's Greatest Salesman? Oh man, bless your souls. 2 women. You know what the essence of that is? Get them to love you, and they can't help buying from you. It's an amazing lesson. Those of you who are esoteric, okay, you're New Ages, you know the color of love is pink. How many of you visualize your customer in pink before you arrive? Or you and him or her in a big bubble of pink and see them visualize them loving you, signing the deal, shaking hands. How many of you do that? We know all of the tricks, but we don't do it, right? Who has read the book by the world's greatest salesman? I need Vinesh to help me now on his name. Tom Hopkins, thank you. Who's read the book, Tom Hopkins on Sales? The essence of that, it's simple. The secret to sales is to tell 10 people every day about your product, belly to belly, face to face. Guys, I was in the Joburg Gym last night, visiting a friend of a friend. Guys, I'm going to beg you tonight. If there's one thing you do, if there's the one reason you improve your sales skills, is to make sure that no one in your family ever lands up in that place. It is horrible. It's horrible. You don't want to land up there. And the only way to get out of that is to earn enough money to ensure you can afford Discovery or Liberty or all of them that we moan about, right? Until we need them, like a parachute. Until we need Discovery, they just stealing our money, right? But when your mom gets cancer and it's costing 500,000 rand a month, then all of a sudden they're the most magnificent company in the world. I just want to give you that, and you need to move out of a ceiling. Okay? Do you know that you can never earn more than your self-worth? You can never earn more than you believe in yourself. And you were born into a family. You were born into an environment. You were born into a society that programmed your clear mind. All right? The family you were born into, the car that your parents drove, the food that you ate 3 times a day or twice a day or once a day, all created a financial consciousness. And it's almost like the caste system in India, right? If you were born an untouchable, you never got out of that. That was a ceiling, and the Maharajas, you know, the nations, yeah, the Maharajas, they never even spoke to you because you were so lowly. Now we have this as well. Have you noticed with salespeople, if you look at your own life, you generally earn commission in a bracket. Okay? Lows and highs, lows and highs. And have you noticed that if you hit your monthly target at about 3 weeks, you stop selling? Okay? And when you have a great month, have you noticed sometimes you'll get a broken clutch, or the geyser will go. All right? If you earn more than you believe you're worth, it'll find its way out of your life. That's a universal law. So one of the ways of earning more money, of earning more commission, closing more sales, is actually a belief inside your head. The difference between you and you and you and myself and Vinesh and Bill Gates and the millionaires and billionaires in the world is what's between your ears, your self-belief. Donald Trump, excuse me for even mentioning that name, I think he's terrible. Donald Trump was insolvent. 7 years later, billionaire. Why? He has a self-belief in himself. Whether you like it or not, he's the president of the United States. All right, and it's because he believes in himself. So one of the things that you can do to change your entire outlook on yourself, your family's life, your life, and ensure that you never, ever, ever land up in the Joburg gym, is to increase your ability to sell, increase your ability and your love of yourself, realize how worthy you are, realize how worthy you are to your customers, and realize how worthy your product is to your customers. Until you get all of that right, you can't overcome objections. Manesh is going to try and tell you just now about objections and overcoming and this and this. Unless you have a strong belief in yourself, and a strong belief in your product, and a strong belief that you can actually help your prospect, you can't get through those objections. Because the first time they say no, you'll walk away. Because you'll go, oh, they said no, and that's right because I'm a dirty, rotten scoundrel, and I'm not worthy of this order. All right, so the soft stuff, the hard stuff he's going to tell you about later, it's all junk, man. All right, you've got to get into your own head. You've got to be able to look in the mirror every morning and go, God, you are awesome. And be speaking about yourself, not the big man upstairs, right? You need to be able to look in your own eyes and say, I am worthy of great stuff. And until you do that, you'll never earn more. All right, so my good friend is Deborah around. She doesn't like him. Dr. DeMartini, he is a great teaching. Here it is. Money moves through the economy from those who don't respect it to those who do. You don't have a high value on building wealth, you can never be wealthy. And let me, rich people are snobby or horrible or ugly. You need to actually start to work a list of 100 people and then 1,000 people, that millionaires that you respect, millionaires that you want to become more like, that you can assimilate. And then you can do the DeMartini method on that. Own all of the traits of the greats. Earn and learn and own the traits of the people that you respect and admire. Anyone right now, can you think of a salesperson or a businessman that you admire? Do you know you have every single thing that they have? You have everything, you just don't know it. The reason that Donald Trump went from broke to a billionaire was he believed in himself, and he has a high value on building wealth, and he has high self-esteem. Do you know that nobody ever bought from you that didn't like you? Okay? Even grudge purchases, you're going to go, grudge purchases is fine. So you go to a petrol station, you get bad service, you'll go to another one. Insurance company that gives you bad service, you'll go to another one. When you're in front of your prospects, if you don't build some rapport with them, if you're not in a state of some sort of love, they're never going to buy from you. Anish is going to give you all sorts of closes. Here's my favorite close. This is the most magnificent close in the world. I call it the natural close. All right, you sit with someone, you've qualified them properly, you've built some rapport, you've been able to do some face pattern recognition to understand their personality, and you've built value to the point where they go, hey Mary, what do I have to do to sign up? Right? That's the way you want to do it. Because you know what? Sometimes when you're too good a salesperson, and you actually are so persuasive and so domineering, like Vinesh, right? He gets the deal, and the next day you cancel, all right? Because actually you were pushed into it. You don't want that. You want to be selling the right stuff to the right people at the right price. My friends, I can assure you of one thing today. Let me ask you this. Who knows the GDP? You probably know. But who knows the GDP of the world? $170 trillion. People love buying. All right? I bought this tie the other day. It's about my 300th tie. I don't need it. All right? I bought it because I saw it on the mannequin. I went in and I said, I want that tie. And they said, we don't have one. I said, well, get into the shop window there and get that one for me. That's the one. I don't need it. All right? So I bought it because I wanted it. And salespeople go, oh, it's a bad economy. Are we in a recession? That's other people's problem. Oh, it's Easter weekend. Oh, it's a long weekend. Oh, it's Christmas. There's always an excuse. Do you know that whenever you fail, you've given yourself permission to fail? May I give you a quick story? And I'm going to blow my own trumpet here quickly. Do you mind? And I'm in Leo. I get a bit egotistic, all right? I was on my way to World Champs, okay, 2009 karate. All right? On the way there, I said to myself, I want to get a bronze medal. Okay? If I just medal, so I was in fighting and I was in form, right? I said, if I just get a medal in World Champs, my God, isn't that awesome? Great, so off I go, and I won silver for the form, for kata. So I've already done better than I expected. Right. So I'm warming up for the fighting. And people, karate is non-contact, okay? You tell my broken word that, and tell my implant that, okay? You get hurt. And I was smelling the sweat of fear as I was warming up, because you get hurt in that stuff. And my little mind said to me, Stephen, you wanted bronze. You've already got silver. You've achieved it. Go home. Pull out. And you know what I said? Little voice, get thee behind me. All right, and I went in there and I faced that fear and I won gold. And I knew in that moment that I could have given myself permission to fail. And it's all in the mind. When you fail, it's because you gave yourself permission to do so. I'm going to ask you all tonight not to give yourself an excuse to fail. My good friend Vinesh is going to make you an offer tonight. We've got a 2-day boot camp coming up. I handle the small stuff, no, not the small stuff, the soft stuff. I handle your image of yourself. I handle linking. The only way you can change the inner is actually to link your high values, like John Lemartini would say, to your job description. And when you link picking up the phone and phoning to make appointments, to feeding your children or staying out of the Joburg gym, that's when you start to actually change the inner game. So we do a lot of work on changing that, your self-image, working with yourself, changing your your sales personality. And he's going to give you an offer later on. I implore you all, do it for the children, do it for the grandchildren, do it for yourself, but please don't miss the opportunity to improve your sales skills. I want to give you some thoughts. Quickly, just on building rapport and on face pattern recognition. So do you know that your face tells a story? Okay? Do you know that your face actually gives you away? Your personality is written all over your face. Okay? Ladies, I know you know this, but I'm just going to reiterate. You do know that over time your face changes, right? All right? And you know that they say that you start to look. So are you all over 18? You look like 17 3/4. Okay. So can we have some fun? Can I be a little bit naughty? Right, so I don't have wrinkles, these are orgasm lines. Yeah, thank you. And I see you've got a couple as well. You've got a couple. Angela, I see you've got a couple there as well. So your face gives you away. Alright? And I can teach you how to have a look at a face and actually how to get into rapport and understand your prospect and optimize that sales experience. Right, so can you imagine this? Go back and remember the time when you had an important interview or an important sales call that was life-changing. You were going to meet someone that you'd never met before, you didn't have a clue who they were. Anyone remember that? Imagine you could have gone to LinkedIn, got a photograph of them, and gone, all right, this guy is more strategic, this guy is more selfish, this person is informal. Right? Because can you see something? Do you know that you've got a sales pattern? You've got a buy-in strategy. And when a salesperson is saying to you, like, I need high rapport. I won't buy a house, okay, from someone that there's no rapport. I won't buy a car from a salesperson that there's no rapport with. I'll go somewhere else and find the salesman that I like and give them the commission. All right? So can you see that when you're dealing with someone that's strategic, big picture, and you're focused, and you give them more detail, that you're frustrating them? Can you see that if you're informal and they're formal, you're frustrating them? Okay? And what's going to start happening is they're going to first start tapping the table, then their feet are going to start going, and then they're going to start stretching the back of their neck, all signals to you that you're boring the shit out of them, all right? And you're going to lose that sale because you couldn't get out of your sales paradigm and into them. One of the most important things you can ever learn, not what Vinesh is going to tell you just now, just ignore that stuff, all right? He's going to tell you all hard stuff and hectic stuff. It's rubbish, all right? If you can learn how to get into rapport with someone and actually get out of your paradigm and into theirs and start to give them the stuff they want in the way they want it, you will change your sales life. What Vinesh actually is very, very good at, and I'm only joking that he's no good, right? He's extremely good at helping you get the scripts right so that when you're phoning people, you can say the right thing to get the appointment, And then when you're in the appointment, say the right things so that you get more deals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get over the fear of picking up the phone and making a call. All right? Do you know how stupid we are? Percy, do you know how dwarf we are, bro? Huh? We are too scared to pick up the phone and phone a stranger, a complete stranger we don't even know, and make a call to see if they'll see us. We're too scared, so we procrastinate. All right? And a part of the psychology and the philosophy around sales is just handling rejection. All right? And just knowing. How many of you know how much you earn a month in commission? How many appointments you need to actually make those sales? How many phone calls you have to make to actually get those appointments? I know exactly. I need to make 24 sales calls to make my numbers every month. Okay, and I make my numbers every single month. I know exactly how to do it. It's a system. Okay, and I know my conversion rates. I know that by the time I get in front of a prospect, I have a 91% chance of closing a deal. Right? It's science, and we're going to help you to, because it's easy. If you just get into that rhythm, if you just get over the fear, and how'd you get over fear? That's just experience. You phone somebody. All right, imagine this with me. Here's R1 million. All right, I make a phone call. They say no. I've still got the million, right? I'm still me. I've still got my undies. All right? I haven't been hurt. Okay, and it's just really getting over that. I also know that, let's say, for example, every sale I make gives me 10,000 Rand. And I know that I need to make 5 calls or 10 calls to get 3 appointments. I know that those 10 calls are worth 1,000 Rand each. All right? So I get my 9 no's. There's 9 Rand already. When I get a no, I go, there's another 1,000 Rand in my back pocket. It's not a negative. It's not rejection. It's a step in the right direction. And when you get the psychology right, everything just starts changing for you. Can everyone see the screen? Nice. That's so good. There's an old saying, always be prepared. And tested this, I thought I was. That's the wrong one. Give me 1 sec. Right. So the strategy that we bring you is change the inner game, change the outer game, and that brings you sales success. The world GDP we already went through, 150 trillion. People love buying. All right. Here's the secret to success. Tell 10 people about your product every day, belly to belly. Right? Nobody got rich on Facebook other than Mark Zuckerberg, right? You don't get rich on social media. All that does is it builds an image, right? You need to get down to real face-to-face sales with people. So, rapport. Who are the cat people? Thank you. Who are the dog people? All right. This is what rapport looks like to cat people. And the first idea here is if you can get people laughing, you have a high state of rapport. So I'm going to ask you just to go back 10 years, 20 years, some of us 30 years, when you were meeting your first boyfriend or first girlfriend, right? In my day, we didn't have WhatsApp. We actually wrote each other notes, and we sent it down, and we hoped that Johnny wouldn't read it out to the whole class, right? And then you got the note back, and Mary said, yeah, I'll meet you behind the tuck shop at break. And you went, ah. And you met there, and you held hands, and you kissed that first kiss. That rapport. You're right there, bro. Nice haircut, by the way. Yeah, okay? That moment of rapport, that's what you're wanting to replicate in your life. So, make people laugh. If you're single and you're on a date, if you can get them laughing, you're halfway there. You know, a lot of people trying to be professional, but they come across as snotty. Right? Don't do that. It's much better to build rapport, make a joke, get some rapport going, get laughing, and when you're in that state, you've got them loving you a little bit, and it's much easier. Right, so this is what my wife and I look like 64% of the time. The other time I'm trying to strangle her because she annoys the shit out of me, seriously. Yesterday was our 25th wedding anniversary, so we've got something right. But there's always a balance in any relationship. Right, you all know about the NLP stuff. I'm not going to take too much time on this, mirror and matching. For some reason it works. I don't know why. when I go to the doctor and he gives me cough mixture. The cough mixture stops my cough or brings up the phlegm, but I don't know how it works. And I don't know how mirroring and matching works, but for some reason it does. If I were to be working with Juto right now, she's kind of got legs crossed over. I just cross my legs over and mirror and match that. And we're in a higher state of rapport than, for example, if we're standing like this or standing like this or whatever I'm doing. So, you know what? In 20, 30 years of selling, nobody's ever gone to me, hey, why are you mirroring matching me? All right, nobody notices, but you get that state of rapport. It's very, very powerful. And it can be subtle. If your prospect's just tapping their foot, you can just tap your hand in time. You can mirror and match voices. I've got one customer, when I see her on the phone, I see her name, I go, no. I go, hello, Claire. She says, hello, Stephen. Because if I go, hey, Claire, how you doing? What's going on? She's like, on the other end of the phone, right? Okay, so you can mirror and match voice as well. You can mirror the speed of it. Can I have a bit of fun with boys and girls? Here's the difference between boys and girls.
Yes!
The phone, thank you. I know you're in a museum. Right, so here we go. When the phone rings, these are girls. They see their friend. They go, hey Mary, how you doing? It's so nice to hear from you. Guys go, it's John. Simple, right? So we're all different, and sometimes we play the game. Sometimes when we get invited to something, I say I don't want to go. My wife goes, okay, so let's tell him this and this and this and this. I go, well, why don't you just tell him the truth? She goes, well, that would be rude. And I go, well, I don't know, I'm a boy, so I understand. So here we go. This is my, he ain't getting no looking tonight, folks, right? Because that relationship's going to take at least 7 days before they get back to the good stuff. How do you build rapport with a mom? Tell her her kid's beautiful. My wife took that photo, so it was all safe. Alright, here's the $1 million question. When you make a big decision, does it have to look good, sound good, or feel good? Okay, Kobus. When you make a major decision, does it have to sound good, feel good, or look good? Yes, but which one the most? Feel good, thank you, Percy. Anyone else? Angela? Alright. We have different buying strategies, okay, and we're all different. So this finds the person's visual, auditory, or kinesthetic mode. Let me give you an example. You want to buy a motor car, you're riding down the highway, you see the F-type Jag. When I see the F-type Jag, I go, I want that car. I see it, and I make the decision there. I justify it in other ways, but I make the decision there. If you auditory, someone tells you about the F-type Jag, or the salesman tells you, all right? Or you get boom, 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 boom at the traffic light, you go, I want that car. You made that decision right there. If you are kinesthetic, you actually want to drive that car. You have to be sitting in that car and driving it to make the decision. Now we're all different. Let's say, for example, you are selling houses, all right? So with a person that's visionary or visual, you need to show them the house, show them pictures, and go, can you see yourself in the jacuzzi? Can you see your wife in the shower? Right? Can you see your kids in the pool? All right? If they are auditory, you're going to go, you know, what, how does it sound to buy this house? How would it sound to have your kids swimming in the pool? Or how would it sound to have your wife in the shower, right? I mean, the water there, okay? And then if they're kinesthetic, thank you. If they're kinesthetic, what you really want is to let them sleep over. You want to have them sleep in that bed. You want them to walk into the bathroom and there's a naked woman showering. Did I say that aloud? There's someone showering. You want to give them a beer from the bar, and you want to give them a steak that you've just cooked in the kitchen and get them feeling that house. Man, if you are kinesthetic and you're selling in a kinesthetic way to a visionary person, you're going to lose 1/3 of the deals just because you don't know that. So may I ask what your name is? Nick. So, Nick, would this bother you? Let's say we're in a sales environment. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for seeing me, blah, 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 all of the crap you speak, right? And then I go, so Nick, listen, I would love to serve you as best I can. Would you mind if I ask you a quick question? Cool. So when you make a decision, important decision, does it need to look good, sound good, or feel good? All right, cool. Was there anything wrong with that? Okay. So, you know what the main problem with salespeople is? We're too scared to get out of our comfort zone. Okay? So I'm giving you all of this today, and you know what makes me want to cry? None of you are going to use it, man. Right? And that's why we offer you a 2-day course later on. I'm soft. Right when the day comes up, we're going to offer you an opportunity to practice this stuff, to get face-to-face and do role plays. You know, I met a salesperson the other day, down and out, no money. I said, you've got to come on the sales course. This is what we do. I said, we do role plays. She's got, no, role plays, I'm not going. Just because you do role plays, I'm not going. I went, well, big word, man. You know, you won't get out of your comfort zone to do something different. You're going to create the exact same that you've been for the last couple of decades. Right, here's the next one. When you make a major decision, how many quotes do you get? Okay, or how many things do you have to look at before you make a decision? I'll make it quick for you. Mine is 1, my wife's is 7. Right, so can you imagine going jean shopping with my wife? And you know what's so funny? When the first one she tries on, she likes, and then she goes all like cuckoo. You can actually see her eyes going, what now? I like this bit, but I haven't checked another 6 before I make a decision. Right, so I go out, I want to buy a Kia Sportage. Right? I go out, I find it, I tell my wife this is the one I like. She goes, give me 2 days. She comes back 2 days later, and she's found the same one, earlier model, lower petrol, lower mileage. It's got the better deal because you show them not the one you want them to buy. The second house, you show them not the one you want them to buy. The third house, that's the one. Or you say to them, how many houses have you seen? They go, 2. And then you know there are 3. You take them to their house. Or you go, how many salespeople have you seen? You're the first. When have you seen the next one? Tomorrow. Okay. Can I make an appointment with you on Fridays, you're number 3, just to recap? Okay? So here's that same question, Nick. When you make a decision, does it need to sound good, feel good, or look good? All right. And when you make a major decision, how many quotes do you generally need to get? 3. All right. I know so much about him right now that I didn't know 1 second ago. And you can use that information just to get into his space and optimize that sales environment. Okay, so awesome. Just a moment of rapport. Nelson Mandela comes up, number 6, same as Francois Pinault, amazing man. And this one here, just unbelievable. No arms, no legs, no limits. That is the epitome of rapport. That's what you want to be like with your wife, with your children, with your prospects, and the people that are important to you in your life. When you're like that with your prospects, they can't help buying from you. It would be unfaithful of them to go to your competition. That's what you want to get to. Right, I've written some books, I won't even talk about that right now. Let's go, face patterns. I'm going to do this quickly so I can get the big man in front of me. Have a look here. These are eyes. The lady on the left, her eyes are close to her nose. Angelina Jolie, her eyes are wider. The lady on the left, closer eyes, more focused. Angelina Jolie, more strategic, big picture. Alright, so if I were to deal with the lady on the left, I would give her facts and figures. I wouldn't speak about the rugby and the weather and the this and the politics and Donald Trump and Jacob Zuma and all of that. I'd get down to the focus stuff more quickly. If I was dealing with Angelina Jolie, when my mouth eventually wasn't so dry and I could stutter a word or two, I would give her more big picture stuff and chat about more general stuff before getting into it. So closer eyes on the left, wider big picture on the right. Guys, if she looks at you like this, she probably doesn't want to buy anything from you. If she looks like this, she's a vampire, you should run. And if they look like that, alright, but some of that stuff you smoked on the weekend is reverbing into your life. It might have been smoking or kadacha cookies, whatever it was probably reverbing poison. Right, here we go. Look at the eyebrows. Lower eyebrows, informal. Higher eyebrows, more formal. Guys, a judge was in court and he watched people giving testimony. And he watched their faces and he started to recognize certain traits with certain facial features. He then went and they did a study worldwide. It's 88% correct over every country, every nation, every culture, every skin color, whatever you want. This works. 88% accuracy. All you need is 1 or 2 of them to get into a higher state of rapport with your customers. So if you're dealing with a person with lower eyebrows, all right, they're less formal. If you send them an agenda and death by PowerPoint of 742 slides, you are going to lose that sale. right? They want you on the back of a Gunston 500 packet, writing stuff down like Creepy Crawly was created. Informal, easygoing, down to earth. If you are formal with it, you're going to lose that sale. Now, if you are single and you're trying to find a girlfriend or boyfriend, you're checking someone out at the pub, right? And they've got high eyebrows, you're in a bit of trouble. Okay? What you do is you find their friend that's got lower eyebrows. You go up and you go, can I buy you and your friend a drink? And you get in sideways that way and go get introduced. Because if you have higher eyebrows, you've got to earn the right to get into their wallet. Alright, check that guy on the right, very high eyebrows, very, very formal. Can you see if you're informal, dealing with someone formal, you're annoying them. You need to get out of your paradigm into their paradigm to get that sale. Otherwise, you'll sell them one and they'll buy it from someone else. And you'll be in the Joburg chain and the other people will be somewhere else. No eyebrows, you just move on, you can't do that. I use this picture on purpose because same lady, look at the lips, different makeup. Alright? So guys, the first thing you want to do when you're dealing with a woman, and say if I was dealing with Shuta, I go, so Shuta, thank you very much, I would take a pen, I borrow your pen, and then I would just jab her on the forehead like this, and can you feel that? Okay, no Botox. Alright, then you know that you can read their faces. So, thin top lip, short, sweet, to the point, sentences and paragraphs, no emotion, no elaboration, no airy-fairy. I love these people. When they speak to you, you know exactly what they're talking about. Lady on the right, more fat top lip, more storytelling, more elaborate, more emotion, more airy-fairy. So if you've got a thin top lip and you're married, please will you go home and tell your partner, I love you, my sweetheart, and I love you because of this, you want, and because of this, okay, and get some tears in your eyes and get some emotion, because they probably feel unloved because you don't express your emotions very well. Right. If you've got the top fat lip, you're much more elaborate, much more emotional, and hard to understand because it's all airy-fairy, and you're never quite sure what's going on. So people often ask me, African and white or African Caucasian, so top African people usually have bigger lips, right? Top lip bigger, storytellers, you know, all of the emotion, long stories that come out, and more elaborate. Right, so if you're dealing with a person on the left, they're going to, yeah, remember girls have got about 7,000 words a day, guys 2,000, so don't misjudge this. If it's a guy with thin lips, then he's even going to say less. So a girl with thin top lip, and sometimes she will take some of her husbands or boyfriends just to add in there, and that's why we're generally more quiet. Have a look at the bottom lip. This is generosity, okay? Fat bottom lip, generous. Like me, I've got a bottom lip quite fat. I give to pump attendants, to people at the traffic lights, to parking guards. If you ask me for money, I'll give you money. All right, we're all generous. You've got the thinner one that's more focused. So you'll give to Nelson Mandela's Children Fund. You'll leave it in a trust for your children. You'll still be generous, but in a more focused way. If you are asking for donations and you find yourself with a person on the right with a thin bottom lip, you go, thank you very much for the tea. That's lovely meeting you. Is there anyone in the building with a big fat bottom lip? Because you're going to get nothing out of that person. Right, have a look here. They look like that, move right along. You can't quite, sorry about my back there, you're just in a bad position. Right. May I ask you all a favor, those of you that have hair, sorry bro, if you've got hair, won't you just feel it to feel if it's thin or coarse, if it's fine or coarse. Alright? So, this gives away your personality 100%. Fine hair, or fine and dainty and sophisticated, maybe a bit snobby, and thicker hair is more down to earth, easy going. So, if I were to work with this lady, fine hair, fine jewelry, very fine, I would be very careful, mind my P's and Q's. I wouldn't swear, I wouldn't get into any sexual innuendo, tell too many jokes, I'd keep it nice and clean until I built some rapport with her, and then I would unleash my full personality, and she would be in major trouble. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Won't you just come up here and write your... Oh, sorry. So, guys, be careful. Girls, it's simple. You come up to us, you go, can I feel your hair? You go, oh, sure, you need to come back with guys, we need to be careful. So you go, Okay. That's it, of course. All right. So, no. You can feel my elbow. So if I were to deal with someone with more corset, be more down to earth, easygoing, I may say shit, I may have some sexual innuendo, I might tell a joke or two. Down to earth, rough, ready, much more easygoing. But if you are rough and ready with a lady on the left, if you're a guy, you're in trouble. And may I just suggest to all of you that, just checking you're all over 18, right, a sale is like sex, right? There's foreplay, and then the act, and then the delivery, and then the after service, right? And it's like, who's been married twice? Who's been married for 10 years or more? Awesome. So you'll know, like for us, foreplay is a 3-day thing, right? It's a 3-day preparation that we're working towards, right? And like if we could be pulling down the covers, like at the end of 3 days, eh? And like with our pupils are dilated, we're so happy, and then, all right, and we put in down the covers and we say something stupid. It's done, it's over, it's gone. All right? The sale is exactly the same. You say something silly to this lady on the left, that sale's gone. You need to be so careful in the sale. And you need to be so careful with your P's and Q's, what you're saying. Be very politically correct, sexually correct, blah, blah, blah. Until you're in rapport and you're comfortable, you can then start to mess with whatever. I just want to move through here. Ladies, if you look like that, nothing I teach you is going to help. You are in major trouble. Yeah? Right? You don't have to be gay to know that's not your thing. Angela? Yeah. All right, just checking. All right. I'm allowed to talk about that because I don't have an ISBN number. Is the adaptation? All right. All right. So, Vanessa and I specialize in. Today, 2 master trainers in the presence of 2 really very, very good salespeople. We complement each other beautifully, yin and yang, soft and hard, persuasion, dominance. I work on the softer, he works on the harder. Vanessa, are you ready? I want to introduce you to somebody I met only 3 months ago. We're like brothers, we're like peas in a pod. Somehow or other in some lifetime we must have murdered each other or something. He's an amazing salesperson, amazing sales guru, and he's going to rock your socks off tonight with what he has to share. Before I do call him up, I hope all of you have put a business card into the ice bucket somewhere, and afterwards if you'd like to give us some feedback, that would be wonderful. And if you'd like to give us some referrals for salespeople who might come to one of our courses, we would love you forever. So ladies and gents, hold on to your seats. Put on your seat belts. Grab somebody's arm next to you because I want to introduce you. Hold on to him. It's going to get rough. To a sales guru, one of the nicest people you can ever meet, Ganesh Maharaj.
Yeah. Hello. Are we back? Not back.
Stephen, just stand next to him.
Stephen, stand next to him. All right, how's it going, everyone? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Freaking eyebrows.
Don't you start your crap.
Eyebrows! Man, did he teach you about your hair? Oh gosh. Come on, something.
Yeah, exactly.
Your husband say. Hey, listen, thanks again for being awesome. I want to drop on you a couple of skills that I believe every business needs. Every salesperson requires something that's going to take your business to the next level. So whether you do the course with us or not, but you're going to get at least 2 or 3 tips, techniques, and tools right here today to go and crush it out there. So I'm going to tell you a story. Do I have your permission?
Yes.
It is December 31st, 2016, and my wife's name is Nirvana. Before the band, okay? Before Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. And for those of you esoterics, you know what that means, right? Heaven, perhaps, if you're a Buddhist. So, Vinesh is a boisterous guy, full of testosterone. There's a heart of gold. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he says to her, baby, 2017, our year. A little champagne will do that to you, right? A lot of champagne. And she says, what do you mean? I said, you know what? Come the December holidays, we're going to Las Vegas to see Ricky Martin shake a bonbon, baby. She loves him, gay or not. He's got a tush he can shake, right? So congratulations to her and him. So she's hell of excited. She's, dude, you're the man. I love you so much. She's starry-eyed, gaga, weak in the knees. Girls, you know that feeling? Not just on Valentine's Day, okay? So Vinesh is planning this big 2017, and guess what happens? Life. January, back to school. You know what that feels like? You're trying to wind this machine called a business, but the customers ain't buying. Sound familiar? Come February, people are settling in, and I think it's going to happen. And lo and behold, before you know it, it's March, and Vinesh hasn't sent an invoice yet. And he goes to his wife, Ravana, and says, baby girl, you know me, I'm good for it, right? Times are tough, man. Let's go to Europe. I'll take you to Paris. Not the one here in the French start. Take you to Paris, we'll see the Eiffel Tower, we'll go to Le Louvre, you know? And she says, dude, you're the man. Of course, let's rock. And business picks up slowly, and Vinesh does a couple of deals, and it's all looking better and better and better. And boom, guess what happens? School holidays in June. Sound familiar, folks? Gauteng goes on holidays. When schools go on holidays, it's bizarre. And he has a heart-to-heart with his wife one Friday night, and he says, baby, you know what, I think times are tough. Maybe we need to be talking about going east. We've never been to Mauritius, 7 days at the Amray, 5-star in the sun. And she's still like, hey, that's cool, man. It beats staying here in Gauteng. Good, she's sold. And Vinesh is excited. He goes back to hustle and grind, and he's chasing the deals, chasing the customers. He ain't scoring home runs. September holidays, he says to his wife, Ravana, baby, I think we're going to go to Oshlanga. Times are tough. But that's before he went on the sales course with Vinesh Maharaj and Stephen from Basten. But let's fast track this forward. And if nothing changes, guess what Vinesh is going to send to his wife in the first week of December? Poppy, back to Caravan, we are going to Bella Bella. So if you don't want to have a holiday in Bella Bella, you're going to have to rock with the Yin Yang of Sales. So, did you know the South African economy, the GDP of South Africa is almost 6,000 billion US dollars. That is a ton of money. So when people tell me they don't have money, you know what they say? I don't have money for you. They're buying beers, and eating food, and buying new cars. And who bought ladies' handbags and shoes this weekend? Come on, say I. I. Right? So there's 6 billion US dollars in our economy. Where's the shortage? Is there a shortage of money? It's only in your head, man. Now, you have a choice in life and you have a choice in business. Are you going to dominate at your craft, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in financial services, whether you're a manufacturer, a distributor, you have a choice. I'm either going to, can I use some adult language? Does anybody object? Now's your time. You can either be a little bitch, or you can get on with the stuff that pays. Do you agree? All right, thank you very much. So, I don't want to compete. You know why? The guy who comes second to the sale is as good as the guy who comes last. So in the world we live in, it's sell or be sold. You're either being sold reasons why people cannot buy from you, or you are selling to them why they should buy from you. Your kids are the greatest salespeople on planet Earth. They are freaking persistent. Yeah? And if I don't win with this prospect, I go to that prospect. And if that doesn't work, I just throw my toys out of the cart. So you're going to either compete or you're going to dominate. I want you to make a decision today. I'm going to be a little bit anymore. I'm going to do whatever it takes to put numbers. Our popular, can I borrow your charger? Do you remember that story, folks? Come on, everybody who's old enough in the room had a BlackBerry, right? It's rubbish. wasn't it? Where's BlackBerry today? Were they dominating or competing? They were competing. They became irrelevant. They couldn't capture the market's attention. They couldn't garner any support. And now, there has been, yeah, they're trying to fight and make their way back. Here's another brand. Remember the Razer? Z3? Oh, come on, girls. I've got a sexy one, it's a Razer. And you'd show off to your friends, see my new phone. Right? How long did that last? Crashing. Done. Toast. Sony Ericsson. What do they call it? The music, right? Some fancy music player. They thought they were the latest cheese on the block. But they didn't last long. Hey, if you're old enough, your father or grandfather or uncle works for this company. Who knows his score? Now Arsenal missile. There has been. But don't hold your breath. Check this out. You and I banked one of these losers 20 years ago. Maybe 30 years ago if you're old enough. Do you remember them? Now, if you're going to compete, you're going to become a brand of yesteryear, you're going to become a business of survival as opposed to doing the business of success. What is the business of success? Apple. Are they dominating or competing? They're dominating. So let me tell you a story. Steve Jobs, he produces. So before we go to Stevie, let me tell you another story. Who in the room is young enough to remember the Sony Walkman? You wore it on the bus to work. It was safe to use the bus to work. You wore it to the gym, or while running, or while driving. You used it for your business tapes, remember? Those of you old enough who listening to business tapes. Some of you were listening to music, some of you had TDK cassettes. Do you remember those? What is the other brand? The cassette brand. Is it Sony? Yeah, so those are the two big brands of the time. BASF, yeah. So here is this company that captures market attention. There's no competition for Sony. They're dominating the Walkman space. But guess what happens when you fall asleep while driving? You crash and you burn. Because when the world went from analog to digital, they didn't see the red bus coming. Like those previous brands. So the world's going to digital music media players, and Steve Jobs comes upon the iPod. Who had an iPod? With those white earphones? Yeah, you were so cool because you had white earphones. So here we go, and Stevie on the success, on the reality of sales, because what does Apple do? Sales. They're selling stuff. They keep you hooked to the product. Upgrades, iTunes, iPod, media players, a whole lot of stuff. So, on the success of that, Stevie approaches the board at Apple and he says, guys, I found it. The next best thing. And you know, Steve was an ICEO, interim CEO. You say, Stephen, what is it, man? Because he was a bit of a crackpot, you must agree. Genius, a little cracked. I said, what is it, Stevie? I want to make a smartphone. And they say to him, but Steve, BlackBerry, Nokia, gone. Motorola, gone. Are you for real? Stop smoking that crap that Steven's giving you. You saw that picture? Yeah, stop smoking that stuff, bro. Stop serving you. And Steve Jobs says, you know what? I want to make the phone so freaking sexy, you're going to want to lick the buttons off the screen. And guess what happens with the Apple explosion? People were queuing last night to get the latest version. Any of you ordered yours online? Anybody didn't take this? No? You ordered it? An Apple man. So, now let me tell you something about this wonderful device. It's an extension of you. And you're going to take it to the bathroom. Do you take selfies in there? I know that if it's not with you, you go apeshit. You lose your marbles. Where's my phone, man? Where's my phone? I get my phone. Give me my phone. I need my phone intravenously. Where's my freaking phone? You do that, right? You do that more about your phone than you do about your car keys. Yeah? Because this is now a part of you. On our program, we'll teach you how to make millions on the phone. Because on the other side of this device is somebody with money. It's called your customer. More about that shortly. So my friends at Apple, dominating. This guy, Colonel, he's changed the way the planet consumes chickens. Gosh. Come on, who went through the drive-thru today? Be honest, say hi. Yesterday? Today? Oh, one drive-thru. Good. Drive-thru. Here's another one. Do they dominate to compete? Of course, they've got you hooked. Who used Google Maps today? Who Googled who's British Morage today? I see. Google's got your number. Dominate. Virgin active. You guys like to shag a lot? You can't get virgin and active. It's a paradox. An active virgin? Oh, come on. Who worked out this morning? The same people. You can tell. This philosophy speaks. Here's another one. Uber. Very topical right now. They're crushing the meat taxi industry. Huh? And because they're crushing the meat taxi industry, they're getting petrol bombed. Shame on those losers who can't dominate. And the only way they can resort to is violence. Here's another one. The Golden Arches, McDonald's. Dude, you can get a burger in 1 minute. Your wife can't cook that fast. Or your husband can't cook that fast. It's an instant meal. Now, in your business, why am I sharing this with you? In your business, are you a brand of value? Are you going to stay relevant? Are you going to dominate? Are you going to sell a shitload of product or services and make a shitload of money doing it? If you want to know how, stay tuned. 1896, still crushing it. Mr. Charles Glass. Who drank that today? Who had beer today? Where's Charlie? There we go, Charlie's boy. Charlie's boy. Now, boom, 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 boom. Who's the Lions in the band? Woo! Yeah, Lions. Are they dominating or competing? The best freaking South African franchise, crushing it, making us South Africans proud every weekend. Thank God for them. But just to make sure that I get out of the parking lot safely home, I've added that just for you Blue Wolf fans, okay? Alma awesome, mates, Alma awesome. There are hope for you. All right. So I showed you how our population went up, our GDP went down. Here's the interesting bit. Since 2005 to 2015, in just 10 years, our millionaire population, guys, millionaire is the new middle class. I hope you know that. I'm not talking about how much you owe the bank. I'm talking about how much net worth you're worth. So it has grown by 82%. Isn't that interesting? And by the way, these stats are all verifiable. Stats SA, the Reserve Bank.
Are they all Gupta?
No, the Gupta himself would be the 82%. Actually, they've done maybe 8,000% because they didn't rob a bank; they robbed the country. Smart.
I think I've been captured.
So our millionaire population has grown by 82%. That number went from 25,500 to 46,500 people. Are you one of them? We created 87 centimillionaires, hundreds, 100 millionaires, and 6 billionaires in that period. What does that tell you? You're living in the land of plenty, the land of opportunity. But I want to share a secret with you, if I have your permission. Who are Afrikaans in the true sense of the word? Besides me. Anybody else?
Afrikaans.
So I'm going to tell you a truth today. You're either going to love me or you're going to hate me, but I'm charming and good. And I've got skills.
What?
Come on, help me, man. So work with me, right? The Voortrekker had a spirit of domination. Do you agree? He gave up all the sushi and the cake that he said, I'm going to make it come out of high water, we're going to find out out of stone, and we're going to make it happen. And they did. But then something happened. Disaster struck in the form of the National Party. Work with me. Have an open mind. The National Party says, you'll be a postman, you'll be a Weermacht, you'll be a train station master, you'll be a this and you'll be a that. And guess what happened? The hustle died. Do you agree? The hustle died. The dream died. Now, we have BEE. You'll be a black entrepreneur and we'll give you the deal because you're black. And guess what's going to happen? The hustle's going to die and BEE is going to fail the black man. The only thing that's going to save me and you is skills. Yeah? Who disagrees? You can buy me a beer later from Charles Glass, we'll talk about it. Right? So we created all these wealthy people, and there are 4 things you could choose to do today. Number one is you can sit back and continue the trajectory that you're on and do nothing. Nothing more. Nothing extra. And you can continue milking the same cow and getting less and less milk from her, because as she ages, unless you replace it with new stock, you're not going to do new results. Number 2, you could retreat. Oh, this sales game is a racket, Dinesh. It's too tough. Nobody will take my call. Nobody will give me the money. Nobody will give me an appointment. And you'll back off because you don't have what it takes. You could continue doing the minimum amounts of action, which means just enough so that the bank manager doesn't come up to the house and the car and the credit card. Yeah? Or you can do what we do. We crush every single day. Stephen and I have a mantra. We eat our own dog food. What we teach is what we live. Is what we practice every day. So there are 3 things you must choose today. Number 1 is you got to learn to earn. Any accountants in the room? No? Thank God. They're just glorified financial historians. They look back. Don't look back. We look forward down the road, business. You cannot save your way to wealth. We've been lied to as kids. Your parents told you the penny saved is a penny earned. It's a freaking lie. It's not a fucking penny. It's just a penny. I can't get rich on a penny. How far can you go on a penny? Or a dollar? Or a rand? Nowhere. It's a lie. Nobody I know has got rich from saving. Warren Buffett, he didn't save, he invested. Steve Jobs, Colonel Saunders, he sold his way to millions. So you can't save your way to wealth. That is a myth. Debunk it, get it out of your head. Those of you who's commission sales, put your hands up, commission sales. I love people like you. You know why? You can choose to earn 10 grand a month, 100 grand a month, or $1 million grand a month. The only limitation is unincorporated. That's the only limitation. You come on our course, we break through unincorporated, and we take you to the money. So the 3 things you could choose to do today is, number 1 is commit to being world class. The world does not favor buying burnt chicken from the corner shop. The world does not favor flat beer. The world does not favor gyms with equipment that doesn't work. So you've got to commit to training your skills. So who in the room owns a book on sales and read it this year? Say aye. 1, 2, 3. How many of you read a book in the last month on sales? No one. Now, hear me out. You run your own businesses, some of you. You spend hundreds of thousands of rands on rental, staff, internet, advertising, marketing, logistics, finance, HR. These are all expenses on a balance sheet, do you agree? But the one thing that generates you money, called sales, is one small line on the top of the financial statement that says income or revenue. How skew is that? We don't invest in the thing that will make us the money. We rather want to hide ourselves behind Facebook. Put yourself on Facebook or market on Facebook. How much millions of rands have I made this year on Facebook? Because I made 0. Maybe some of you are lucky. The only guy getting rich on Facebook is Mark, and his surname is? You know it. He's got your attention. So you got to train to become world class. Number 2 is you got to set time in your schedule to practice. Listen, if Wade Funnycat was here next to me, who's going to win? 400 meters, Wade Funnycat, who's going to win? Wade's going to win. Because I'm not an athlete. I don't practice. I'm not committed to training. Take so much action that you get to work. Most salespeople work between 2 and 3 hours a day. The rest of the time we hide behind email. We hide behind Facebook. We hide behind meetings. Dude, meetings don't pay me now. Sales pay me. Facebook doesn't pay me. Microsoft doesn't pay me. Do they pay you? But we love those tools because they are easy excuses to hide behind. You've got to get to work. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Anybody in the room has twins besides Maurice? Anybody has twins? No? Oh, let's assume you're a mother. Guys, play along. Grow a pair. You're a mother, and you have twins, and it's 2 in the morning, and you're feeding little Johnny. And you're Dinesh. That loud, proud, out there full of shit guy said, what does mommy think? Then we go, look, maybe it's an emergency. Check his nappy, okay, he's okay. What are you crying for, little boy? And finish out words, it'd say, I want some milkies, man. Bring me them jugs, I'm thirsty. But he ain't got words. So all he has is cry. And mom goes back to Johnny. Johnny's getting his game on. And then she's thinking, hey, chick, bring it here, man. What is this? Is this racism? Was it nepotism? Was it Guptaism? Come on, mom, and he cries. And eventually she puts little Johnny down. She picks up in action. He's a hungry little glutton. He latches on instantly, and he doesn't let go. Johnny suffers for 20 minutes. Vinesh for 2 hours. Who gets the most milk? The one who gets mama's attention. Are you getting your customer's attention? Because if you're not getting their attention, I promise you your competitor is. And he's seducing them into deals right now. Now, I'm a great lover of God. Please don't be offended when I say this. God is the greatest salesman of our times. 2,000 years ago, he arrived here, and look at his movement today. It's a freaking whole planet. That's great sales. He had a small sales team. He started with 12 people, called disciples. They have a little black book of marketing called the Bible. Learn from the guy. That's why they call him God. Sales, man. Sales is how we do it. Sales is all we do. Sales is everything. So there are 3 things that winners can choose. Are you a winner? Are you a winner? Say hi.
Hi.
Are you a winner? Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. He's got energy. Did he get your attention? They said that money follows attention. He's going to take some money from you. So there are 3 things you can do today. Number 1 is you can't work to work, because when you work to work, guess what happens? You get more work. I'll give you an example. Mommies? Any mommies together? Yeah. How old are your kids? 2. 1 is 2-year-old. Are you married? Yeah, married. So come Friday. Wash, iron, cook, clean, repack the shelf, clean out the kitchen, clean out the cupboards, clean out the fridge, toss out the old food, bring in the new stuff, go shopping, come home, iron, and then hopefully in between you get a little bit of rest. And then come Monday morning, she's exhausted. Sound familiar? Does work ever stop at home? Never. So if you have this work-to-work mentality, you work harder, 150 rand a day, or whatever the going rate is, for a day. What do CEOs, lawyers, advocates, surgeons earn per hour? Now, what I'm challenging you to do is to shift your consciousness. And to shift your consciousness, I want to shift the paradigm. What do public speakers say? What is the question?
Is the glass half full or half empty?
I can only word me one. Okay, come up. What's your name? Poppy. Can I call you Poppy? What is your name now? Bloemfontein. The city of
Traffic circles.
What do you call traffic circles? What do you call that afterwards? Traffic circle? Okay, we go. Okay, so the question is not how much is it half empty or half full? The question is how much does it weigh? I want to shift your paradigm. I want you to throw your left or right hand. I want you to hold your left hand and face all of them. Give them a big smile. Extend your hand all the way out. All right. So let's work some math. Who's a smart guy in the room? Or lady? Who's smart? Who's smart? Come on. There must be somebody smart in the room. One name. Say smart. Okay. Stand up, sir. You're a mathematician today. Let's assume that this is a 500 ml glass. It's half full. That's about 250 mils. How much do you think the glass weighs? 100 grams? 350 grams. 150 grams plus the weight of the water. 375. So it's total 375 grams. Will you agree with his math? All right. Fantastic. So stay standing. How much would it feel like in 3 hours if you stood like this?
2 kilograms.
5 kgs. Nice. And if she stood like this for 3 days, how much would it feel like? 5 tons? Very good. So I'm shifting your paradigm that perception and reality are far removed. Your perception about your sales and your business needs to change today. That's why we're doing the exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, here the beautiful her. Yeah, is that right? So, if you work to prosper, you're going to have a new take on things. You got to get into work first, or the customer first, and the last guy to leave the customer. The reason I say that, if you don't catch him first to make the sale, somebody else will. Have you ever called the guy and said, you know what? Last week we were looking for a guy like you, Dinesh. I'm like, gosh, I sat on his knee for 2 months. Have you been there? Come on, folks, we've all been there, right? So you've got to up your game. Your net worth is determined by your network. If you're selling to loser, go nowhere customers, you're going to go nowhere and you're going to be a loser too. You've got to define your customer, you understand what your value proposition, you got to understand how you can add value to their space, how you're going to get them to give you money. You got to learn to pitch like a pro. Do you have a pitch? Do you know what that is? Not a cricket pitch. It's not a soccer pitch. It's how do you get money and commitment from a customer. Now, I'll tell you why sales are failing.
Yeah, you did good.
Let me tell you why sales are failing, folks. Number one, 60% of salespeople never follow prospects. And when you do, you don't know what to say. Are we there yet? If you have kids, are we there yet? And every 5 minutes, are we there yet? So if you're following a customer, are we there yet? Good, you need game. 25% of salespeople stop after the first follow-up. They get a no, or they get a stall, and they walk away. Oh, Dinesh, don't want to buy from me. He's probably being seduced by another supplier. No, maybe you just don't have enough value stacked for Dinesh to engage with you. 12% stop after the second follow-up. So the guy meets you 2 or 3 times, and eventually the salesperson kind of loses interest. And they feel bad to follow up a customer. Do some of you feel bad to follow a customer? I feel bad. I phoned him 3 times today. Yeah? Do you have that? I'll tell you a story in a minute. Only 10% of salespeople go beyond the 3rd follow-up. Only 10% go beyond the 3rd follow-up. That is scary. Let me tell you a story. I phoned a guy 15 times in one day. My wife said, are you a retard? Are you a retard? You're telling the guy you're desperate. No, I'm not. I'm telling the guy he needs my help. If he interprets that I'm desperate, that's his problem. I still want to solve his problem, which is the sales. So if I'm bringing value, and his business runs on sales, and he feeds his staff and his company and his children on sales, how can I be desperate to phone somebody 15 times? So I left voicemail, I sent an SMS, and I called every hour. And we're on a holiday, on a Friday, Good Friday, somewhere in the coast. And this guy started thinking, the coolie don't want to give up. The dream coolie cook, I'm not giving up. Let me tell you, I don't play to lose, man. I play to win. And by the way, we did the deal on the public holiday. I got the money paid the same night. So, what does it take to succeed in this economy? First and foremost, the illusion of making the sale on first contact, that only happens in prostitution. It doesn't happen anywhere else. Only 2% of sales happen on the first contact. 5% of sales are made on the second contact. 10% of sales on the third. 20% on the fourth. A whopping 63% of sales happen between contact 5 and 12. You know why? Because your customers are shopping around. They don't perceive value. They don't see what's your value proposition. They think the price is wrong. They think there's a better deal out there. But if we could show you a way how to circumvent all of that, in just 2 days, your business life will change forever. So ask yourself, what would you do for $1 billion, folks? What did you do, man? Would you sell your husband to me? She's like, oh my God. We need little people that are factory in China to make computers and he's got good eyes for those things. What do you guys do for $1 billion, folks? Sure. And I would give you a kidney right now. What's a kidney? I'd give you a good eye. So the reason I ask you, these oaks went in this huge, they took a tunnel lead. You watch the fight? McGregor and Mayweather. They're getting a hiding for $1 billion. You're getting a hiding with your customers, and you're getting zilch, you're getting nada, you're getting nothing. How about you get in the ring for $1 billion? Or $1 million if that's your number. Now, if you won't do it for you, who will you do it for? Our program is designed, my part of it, after Steve has done all those nice things to understand your prospect in preparation for that presentation. I will help you to work through your USP, your unique selling proposition. What is it about us that makes us unique? Why is it that McDonald's and KFC are crushing it and perhaps other chains are not, like perhaps Burger King? Do you know where to prospect? Do you know what is a prospect? Can you qualify a prospect? Can you pre-qualify a prospect? Do you have a pitch for a prospect? Where do you find prospects? The cold call. Some people are more afraid of the cold call than they are of dying. Yeah? I've had people come on training and say, I know the diabetes. I need the toilet right now. Oh, I can't make that call. And by the way, she goes to the bathroom, she comes back and she makes 10 appointments in about 45 minutes. Because we helped her pitch a script that is so dynamic and powerful, based on your unique selling proposition, that takes care of problems of customers, that stacks your value, and the guy says, where have you been all my life? It tells only 3 responses. The first one is no. No is a good answer, by the way, because for every no, you're stacking with yeses. Yes, yes is a great answer, but a better answer, wow, where have you been all my life? That's the kind of response you want from a prospect, because cold calling is not dead. It's dead people making cold calls. Huh? Hello, Mr. Maharaj. My name is Ivan from Oxford, and we'd like to increase your credit card limit. F off, buddy. You're calling me from the grave. Dude, you ain't going to get nothing from me because you're not even excited about your job and the fact that you can get my money. Why should I give you an opportunity? I don't want to deal with you. You're dead. And then you've got the idols wannabe. Hello, Mr. Maharaj, how are you? This is me Vanessa. I'm calling here from South Caesar. How are you today? Idols are over, baby. You lost. You're in the wrong show. So if you don't have the stuff to make a cold call, to get people's attention, like little Vinesh, the baby, get people's attention, you can get in front of them with value, you ain't got money, because this here is more powerful than sex.
What?
It's more powerful than sex, because you can have sex on it. 60. This is more powerful than sex. I'll tell you what. Let's assume your number is 10 grand commission and commission sales. So 100 grand, you get 10%. If I could get in front of 10 people in Pretoria, in Bloemfontein, from your Dorpie, or from Vereeniging, or Rustenburg, and I got on the phone and I called 10 people, and I knew my numbers, and out of that 10, if I sold 2, what is the cost of 10 phone calls? What is your network? I won't sound stupid. That's about 60 cents a minute, I think. Yeah. What's your network charge you? 100 cents, 120 cents? Something like that. Nobody knows anymore. Because it's so insignificant. So for the cost of $2.50 to make 10 grand, how many of you making cold calls? Say hi. How many cold calls are you making a day now? Yeah, you. About 10. And what's your closing rate on 10 calls? So if you doubled your call rate, you'll see more people and make more money. So why don't you call more? You know why? Because while driving, you want to listen to 702. Today, Jacob Zuma was caught with his pants by his ankles at the Gupta's house. Dude. You really have to get on the mastery of the cold call because the money's on the other side. If you pre-qualify on this and you have a powerful pitch, it gets you in front of customers. Gosh, wouldn't you like to double your sales? Come on the course up that you want. All right, power questions. You know that fateful day, February the 13th, 2013, a beautiful woman called Real Estate Income. 4 bullet holes, bang, bang, bang. God bless her soul. She lost her life. There was a defense and a prosecution, and they only had one tool at their disposal. The tool was the ability to ask questions. Do you agree? You're a lawyer, you can't make statements except the facts. So the team that won was the team with the better questions because they were able to prove without the reason or shadow of doubt that he was guilty. So, what questions, how many questions do you have? Are you engaged? That ain't a question. That's not a qualified question. What star sign are you? When you walk up to a girl at the bar and your question is, what do you come to offer? Dude, that ain't game. You need to come learn how to pitch. You guys are laughing. You guys are going to come to the course too.
Pick up more girls.
Pick up more girls, yeah. Pick up more girls. So if you have power questions because you want to arrest the attention of the customer and drag them into your world by making them understand just how huge their problem is and how powerful your solution is. Whether you sell real estate, whether you're a minor, I'm not talking about under 18, I'm talking about a minor, ER, or whether you're a manufacturer or a service provider, you need power questions in your arsenal. The more questions you have, here's a question to ask you. Who has more power? The person asking the question or the person answering? Now if you have 1 or 2 questions, compare that to somebody who's got 200 questions. So the more powerful your questions, the more focused they are, and the more targeted you'll penetrate through all the BS and deal straight to the matter at heart. Closing strategies. How many closing? Steve spoke about the assumptive close. I've got 100 closing strategies. 100? How many do you have, folks? I'm not talking about skeletons, okay, guys? What would you do for yourself, man? What did you do? Are you worth investing in? Are you going to Bella Bella in 2017? Or are you going to Las Vegas? Tough question. If you won't do it for you, what will you do for your family? Today I did a video and I said, your kids need to go to the best private school because South African education is stuffed. You cannot go to a state hospital because you're going to go there to die. And then they lose your body. It happens. And hold on. Now they lose your body and they find you 3 months later. Scary stuff, man. Everything I am, everything I've achieved is through sales. The clothes I'm wearing, the haircut I have, the car I drive, the gas that I fill, all these toys that we have, sales, sales, sales. Nothing else. My marketing has never paid me a salary. Facebook has never given me a salary. Microsoft has never given me a salary. But you know what? These XR2s, if you're old enough, you know what's XR2? Or I come from Cape Town, we used to say CA10 toes. These feet and this connection of study. So if you want to do it for you, how old is your kid? You said 6? 2. 2 and yours? No kid. Still practicing. Enjoy it. Sorry? 3 years. Your kid. Ooh. So, come join Stephen and I. Get the Yin Yang of Sales. Pump up your business. Guys, if you really want to do it, if you're tired of thinking and talking and you're ready for action, real action, our programs are valued at 10,000 grand. We have this independent leads price. What we've decided to do is we're going to give you 2 days of I cold call every day until we make our numbers. 2 speakers, trainers, coaches on hand to help you get the results you need. We want to get practical with you. We want you to own your business, to own your words, to own the power questions, to own the pitch, and to own the customer. We've discounted the price at $4,950. That's 5,000 rand per person. Is that a lot of money or little money? Give me who says a lot, put your hand up. Who says a little, put your hand up. Who's asleep, put your hand up. Today, we're going to give it to you at $3,950 per person. But I want to make Steve. Now Steve didn't tell you about the nose. I've got the money nose. I don't discount. I love getting discounts, but I don't give discounts. And because of sales, I get flight upgrades for free. Any airline, if there's space on the plane, I get an upgrade to business class for free. If I have a hotel and I have occupancy, I get upgraded for free. You know why? Because I'm a salesman. I know what to ask. I've got their power questions. I know how to lead somebody into a decision that I've predetermined for them. Wouldn't you want to own this gift? No? Sure you would. Today only, buy one, get one free. Can I have a show of hands for $2 grand per person, 2 days, 1,000 rand per person per day, less than 100 rand per hour, with 2 amazing pitches, closers, sorry, not pitches, pitches. People with pitch and closers. Ladies, it's time to show up or walk the plank. I want you to take out your credit card or your bank card, because I'm going to give you one opportunity now. The first person who comes aboard tonight, who pays tonight, will get the training at 1,000 rand per person total. The first person who comes up tonight, 1,000 rand for 2 days. Or are we too broke to afford that? Sold to the lady in black. And black. Well, on both of you. Well, on both of you. Now, doing $1,000, you know what you do? You go buy expensive bottle of champagne and you go eat something at the local restaurant, and then you go to the toilet, and I call that expensive sushi. Yeah. Thank you very much. Congratulations for stepping up. How many people in your business are joining us? How many people are coming in? 2. And yours? 2. So there we are, 4 people tonight. Sales is how we do it. Gentlemen, you've just lost the opportunity at 1,000 rand. I'm going to offer you another opportunity. 1,250 rand. I need 1 set of hands. I can't do 2 at that price. We have 1 sold, man. You have to swipe the card tonight. Please come up and take care of it. Thank you. Is that for 1 or for 2? Is that for 1 or for 2 now? No. Who's paying and who's dancing? All right. The rest of you, either you don't value what we do, you don't have money, which means you need a freaking program, or you have another objection that you haven't shared. So this is what we teach in the training course. When the customer doesn't buy from you, what is the objection? Who wants to honor me with an objection?
I'm going to speak to Stephen because he doesn't have your nose. I'm going to get better discount from him.
Come on, give me the objection, man. You want to take care of your kid? What's your objection? You don't have an objection. So why aren't you swiping your card? Okay, so I'm going to honor you. They're going to come together, the 2 of you. I'm going to do you a deal. I'm a deal maker. I get paid to make deals. I want to make money when I make deals. If I don't make deals, I don't earn. So, what is the deal?
If I bring a friend, what is the deal?
For you, because you're so good looking, 3950, and I'll give you 10% valid tonight to swipe your card now. Otherwise, you walk the plank. Because
give it to me for 2,000
per person, less 10%. That's 400 rand off. If you don't want it, I'll give it to someone else. I can't give you money I don't have. I've got a 12-year-old terrorist at home to feed. Huh?
The 1250 wasn't taken.
It was taken. Sorry, is the 125? If it's not taken, it's still available.
It's done.
Is it 125? You got to swipe your card tonight, please.
Yes.
Please go swipe your card. It's even now. Okay. Let's go. All right. Where's the objections? Give it to me, brother. He's smiling. What is the objection? I got no time. I have no money. I don't see the value. You see, your customers don't buy from you, and you don't know why. Or they stop taking your calls, and you don't know why. Do you ever ask them, why didn't you buy from me, Vinesh? I called them up. I did a call for a company last week, and they told me you're too expensive. I said, yeah, I'm also good looking, but you didn't pick on that. Oh, you got sense of humor. I said, absolutely, because you pay me because I deliver the value. So what is your objection? Yes.
Vinesh, when is it?
22nd, 23rd September.
Because I didn't see it.
It's coming. Beat me to it. What's your objection? And you're not leaving until you give me your money. Are you married? You got a girlfriend? What? Any of those? None. You got a job? You made a sale! Woo! He's a salesman! Alright, next. What's your objection? Ma'am, sir, at the back, hiding in the shadows. Don't hide in the shadows. Come out. Get out of the closet. What's your objection? No time, no money. If you got no money, you must come on my course. You'll make your money back in the room because in a network of 40, 50 people, you're going to find opportunities. In a room of 40 to 50 people, you're going to be getting introductions and referrals to other people who you're going to call in the room. We're going to make sure that at the training, you're going to book a minimum of 10 appointments per day to new customers you've never dealt with in the past. Yeah, so you go. God bless your soul. Give them a round of applause. Woo! So Mike's coming to China, Hangzhou, took these little machines there. You seem to have that kind of eyes. So what is the objection? Why aren't you giving me your money? Let me tell you why. You didn't like what I said. It was too honest with you. Or you're too broke to do it. Or you're hoping for a miracle so that month end will happen and the money will come into the account. I don't want salespeople to live in hope. We have to live in expectation. I know that what I sow in life is what I'm going to harvest. You need to come and sow with us. I sow so much to that so much. But I'm constantly sowing. How many people in your business? 5, 10, 20, how many sales please? 3. I'm going to do you a deal. You'll be all 3 for the price of the 395. It's valid for the next 30 seconds. Can you make the call? Fly them in because it's worth it. Do you want to make another $1 million this year in sales? Or do you want to save $2 grand on a flight? Choose. Ah, so you're not the decision maker. Ah, you see, that's an objection I can handle. Let's phone him. Let's phone him. Let's phone him. Can you see how aggressive I'm about sales? Because this is the way I feel my family, man. You think I'm ashamed to ask people for their money? I'm not ashamed. I've got family to feed, I've got bills to pay. My bank manager doesn't take my smile in payment. I sell my way to success. Man, go for it. Will they make my call? Okay, call and put it on loudspeaker and give it to me. Let's do this. What's his name? Clint. Is he a hard ass? Because I love hard asses. The harder they are, the better.
Vinesh, keep going, bro. Keep going until everyone's happy. Show them how to sell. Show them how to sell, bro. Don't take any prisoners.
I hope you can hear this. What's your name, man? Yeah. When's the right time to phone someone? Anytime. God doesn't sleep. Why should Clint sleep? Let's try it again. So we've got an order form here. For those of you who can give us your feedback and your comments. Clint, my brother, how are you? Very good. I'm here with Adele. My name is Vinesh Marwat. I'm sorry for calling you late at night. Do you have a moment to speak, sir? Clint, I know you guys want to grow your revenue. Is that the best thing? If I could show Adele the ways to get in front of more customers, pitch more value, and bank more commission for herself and for your business, would that really speak to your values? Because if it does, I've made an offer at $2 grand for 2 days of high intensity training happening this month, the 22nd and 23rd. The normal price is $4,000. With pleasure, my friend. Look, can I call you in the morning? Thank you, man. Cheers, man. So Clint did the double loop. He first said yes, he could talk. And then he said, my kids are going to bed and I'm going to sleep. Can you call me during business hours in the morning? Did you hear that? You know why? Because he didn't want to be sold. He knew he was going to say yes. And the only angle he had was call me in the day. Call me in business hours. Thank you. But Adele, I'm going to call him. Please give me his number and we'll get through that. So, now.
So here's what's important about that call. Vinesh is still whole. He's still a millionaire. He's not hurt. He wasn't scared. He made it in front of you. It didn't matter whether it worked or not. He got on there, he knows the numbers, and he's still whole. He hasn't lost
the
any
next
money.
one.
And he actually enjoyed it. He's smiling. He's not sitting in the corner crying, committing suicide. It's just ops normal. Sometimes you have rejection, sometimes you don't.
I'm old and I've been in sales numbers. And this man and that man can teach you everything you need to know. I don't know them. And I promise you, I'm just watching you, I'm listening to you. You've got it. Well done.
Thank you, man. Oh man, thank you so much. You're in touch. Thank you. Hey, this is only 14.
And you can teach them to make a fortune.
Absolutely.
Really, seriously.
Thank you for your testimony. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And please come on the course if you're inspired to.
I'm here to see which staff actually come on the course.
How do I get you
Guys, you want to
details?
make money, come on this man's course.
Thank you. How do we get a hold of you? Fantastic. Can I ask? Please don't leave, folks. We just want to do a draw. And I'm giving away one free seat to the training.
And you better all
Well,
know
the next training. I'll get that one back. There you are.
You just can't get
Maurice. Folks, if you're not going to invest in yourself, how do you expect your customer to invest in you? Yeah? How do your customer invest in you? Want to invest in yourself? Now, you focus and taking notes. What did you learn today? Other than not giving you money. Is there anybody else I need to call? Sure. Are you changing your bank balance? That's what we're hard. You know how many times I've asked for a sale tonight? I don't know if you counted, I've asked maybe about 12 times already. And I'm still asking. You know why? Because I'm going to leave you rich. Every time I get on the phone, I get richer. Even when they say no. And I'm still here, still standing. We'll speak tomorrow, ladies. Do I have your commitments? Pardon? Or wedding? Do you want to get rich or do you want to watch somebody else say, I do? They should pay you for that. We're going to do a quick draw. Can we do a draw before we go? Guys, did you pull the trigger? Did you pull the trigger? Maybe you have a card in your hand. Shut your pockets. So we want to do a quick draw quickly. Who can we ask? Do the honors. There's one of the lovely ladies.
Can I ask a quick question? Yes. Can I ask a quick question? There's someone in the room here today who desperately needs this and can't afford it. Is there anyone that has 1,000 rand to donate for her to go on a course? Yeah, I'm serious. 1,000 rand is nothing. It's nothing. Anyone willing to pay for her? To go?
And you don't have to pay 1,000 yourself. Give her 250, 200. Start adding it up and we'll get you there.
God will dig you for that, eh?
Come on, step up.
Right, shall we get Percy? Is this for a free?
No, this is for the first, third prize.
What is it?
That was easy.
Who is that, Jerome?
That's my own. I'll read it. I'll take mine out because I'm picking, right?
Drum roll, please. And the winner is from CNC Woodpecker, Mikey. Woo! Mike, congratulations. Please come up, man. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to you. We want to give to you. Maybe Steve will tell you more.
Which one would you like?
Good choice, Steve. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well done.
Welcome.
So, the man who goes to card, I think it was something else.
Who did? Percy?
No, I did that on purpose. Mine is blue. I took it out. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that.
All right, and dynamic truck rental. Cornel, you've left. Where's she? Oh, Cornel, come pick it up, baby. Can I call you baby?
Behave, man. You really got her up here and stood behind her.
I know she enjoyed that.
Blushing means yes. Blushing means yes.
Stephen, who's blushing?
I'm blushing.
Take the red one.
It's a Martin.
Folks, I don't know if those of you who are not Hindu or maybe or are Hindu or are Buddhist, you understand karma or sowing and reaping, the law of seeds. What you sow, you will harvest. It's biblical, right? So it's not foreign to our cultures. The principle is the same. Today I'm asking you to dig a little deeper than normal. Even if you can't be here, help us to get this lady on the program. We want to give her 1,000 rand. Can I ask you for 100 rand? 10 people, step up, be a man. Let's do the right thing. Hoorah, bless your heart, man. God bless your soul. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do we have any more? Oh, God, man. You're making me cry. Because, you know, generosity, see people heart.
20% there.
Help, man. That's what can I thank you 100? Thank you. With 400 bucks, I need 6 more. I'm delivering that. Shalata. We're doing a favor. We've discounted 1,000 bucks from our side. We put in 1,000 bucks, we put up another 600. You know? Oh, man. All right, now I need only, how's your maths? 550. 550. Man. I'm gonna cry. You're freaking as hard as I am.
Right, we're almost there. What we're on 700.
Should be a kiss first. No, it's we're 500.
Why did I get this one?
Hey, you guys are magical. Thank you. Pradeep, can we have some help from you, bro? Can I get 100 out of you? I know you are leaning on you. Will you give me 100? Will you give me 100? Is that from her or from you? From her? Okay, so now we are at 2, 3, 6, 7. I need 300 more. No, I've come to that. There's only 6 in my hand.
Yeah, yes, Ganesh. No worries. I call you and I raise you.
You see? I've got the money nose, he's the charity nose. All right, give me 100 more. Give me 100. Man, give me 100. Oh, bless your soul, man. Come here, give me a kiss. I'll be out this one.
Stop that.
Let's give it 50 up. I need 50 more. 50 more, 50 more. Done. Sold to the highest bidder. Folks, I want to thank you. You've been amazing. Please connect with us on Facebook. The Yin Yang of Sales. My name is Ganesh Maharaj. My good friend Stephen from Basten. The time for talk is over.
We from Bloemfontein. Ons soek julle daarso. Ons sal Afrikaans praat. Ja, so ek verstaan Afrikaans. Ek het in die weermag geleer.
It's time to take action. Thank you for taking action. Connect with us. Be awesome. Be great. Travel safely. Get home in one piece. And come out and please complete our forms. We have some forms that I'm going to send around the room. Louise, our assistant, will collect them from you. It's some feedback. It's some ideas that you think you do to improve. It's also referrals. If you have colleagues, employees who need to participate, there's an order form for those of you who need to think about it, who need to sleep on it, pray on it, whatever it takes. You want good support of you. Don't be complaining. Anything else before? Absolutely.
350 grams is not 3.5 kilos.
But at least it's not my own arms. I can at least rest.
Selfie sticks do come in handy.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever